Hey there, today on Big Al Books, we're going to talk about the March of the Mammoths readathon. But before we do that, I want to take you over to my bookshelves. I guess it's the start of a new month. I should probably start thinking about what books I want to try to read this month. I think a nice essay collection would be a great place to start off. So I'm going to take you to my essay shelf, and I'm going to try to figure out what I should read next. Let's see. So many books that I like on the shelf that I've already read. Written Lives, Hatred of Poetry, The Semicolon. You know what I haven't read yet, though? The complete works of Michel de Montaigne. I mean, he's just considered to be the master by anyone who respects the form of the essay. Such an iconic French pioneer of the essay. I mean, I feel like I can't truly appreciate the genre as a whole until I've read some of his stuff. I guess I should pick this one up next. But I don't know. I guess February is kind of a busy month. I don't know. I've got all those deadlines coming up, pretty busy with work. Might not be the best time this month to read this, but I'm definitely going to read this at some point this year. You know what? I'm gonna put it back on the shelf for now. But I'll come back to it, like, for sure at some point this year. Although, now that I mentioned Montaigne, maybe I do want to read some French literature. Maybe this could be a good month to go back and reread one of my favorite French classics. So let's look up here at my French literature shelf. Wow, Les Miserables, one of my all-time favorites. Proust was my best read of last year. Count of Monte Cristo, such an entertaining and fun read. Who wouldn't want to reread these books? Such special stories. But you know what? When I pick them up, not sure it's a great idea. I'm really getting behind on my Goodreads goal already, and the year hasn't even started, so probably not a great idea. I'm gonna put these ones back on the shelf, but I'm gonna get to them at some point. I will totally reread these books.
Yeah, right!
All too often, I find myself avoiding the books on my shelf that I'm the most excited about reading. And that happens especially if those books are long books. Even though I tend to really enjoy long books, I somehow mentally convince myself that those books need to be squirreled away for a special occasion, for some event in the distant future when I'm going to be a better person who's more organized and has more time to dedicate to getting through that really long book. And then sometimes you just keep putting it off, and that book has been sitting on your shelf for years. So if you can relate to that problem, I hope you'll be interested in joining along on the March of the Mammoths readathon. If you've been following my channel for a few years, you might remember this readathon from years past, but if you are newer over here and you haven't heard of it, it is a month-long readathon that occurs in March, and all you need to commit to doing is trying your best to make it through at least one 800+ page book. So this is a readathon that is just dedicated towards tackling those lengthy, intimidating, mammoth-sized books that have been taking up a lot of space on our shelves or maybe in our minds, and we try our best to use our time in March to really accomplish something with our reading by finishing one of these long reads. This readathon was created by Jason from the channel Old Blues Chapter and Verse, and I've been co-hosting this readathon for a few years now with Jason and Lukáš from the channel A Cruel Reader's Thesis, and they have a history of creating some very entertaining announcement videos for this readathon, so I'll link their channel and their videos down below if you want to check that out. But yes, I hope that you will consider joining in on the March of the Mammoths this year. We announce it at the start of February so that you have a month to kind of plan things out and see if there's a mammoth in your life that you want to make the time for in March. I myself try to squeeze in a few mammoth-sized reads during the month of March, so I haven't fully decided what they're going to be, so look out for some content for me about planning my TBR. But yeah, let me know down below if you're planning on joining in, and I'll see you again later. Bye!